He knew that Stephanie Bonehead White is not the coach for mine. And now with these recent comments from Caitlin Clark, we know Stephanie White is.
This entire situation has completely blown up in Stephanie White's face, and honestly, she set herself up for it. Caitlin Clark just went public with exactly how she wants to evolve her game, and it directly clashes with everything her coach seems to believe in. What started as a manageable difference in philosophy is now turning into a full-blown mess. And it's getting worse by the day. If someone doesn't step in and address this soon, it has a potential to derail the entire season before it even finds its footing.
This last night, Fever superstar Caitlin Clark joining the NBC Sunday Night Basketball pregame show. She was a special contributor for last night's Lakers-Knicks game.
You can see her here alongside Pacers legend Reggie Miller. She is back on NBC March 29th when the Knicks play the Thunder.
Here's how the whole disaster really unfolded. While doing analyst work for NBC during a Lakers game, Caitlin Clark was asked a simple, obvious question. Which NBA player does she study the most as she looks to evolve her own game? For someone at her level, it was a perfectly reasonable question. Her answer came instantly. Luka Doncic. She spoke about his elite ability to score and facilitate. But what stood out most to her was how he controls defenders without relying on elite speed or explosive athleticism. Instead, Luka manipulates space, claims it, and forces defenders to react on his terms. Clark openly admitted that she often avoids contact and tries to escape pressure when she should be doing the opposite, stepping into space and making defenders deal with her presence. It was a sharp, self-aware observation from a player clearly committed to getting better. Player or
someone you watch even more specifically because there's things in his game maybe you would want to add to yours in the league?
Man, I think Luka. Luka's amazing and he's incredible. I think the way he can not only score the ball, but also the way he passes. And I think the thing about him is, he's not the fastest, he's not the most athletic, but he can get his defender to move where he wants him to go, and he takes up that space, and he does a really good job of either keeping the defender behind him or keeping him to the side. So I think that's something I can certainly learn from. I always kind of want to run away from the defense rather than absorbing the contact and taking up the space that they give me. So I think obviously he's pretty incredible. He averages like a 30-point triple-double. So he makes it look pretty easy, but I can promise you it's not that easy.
That answer makes complete sense. Luka is absolutely brilliant at controlling pace and creating offense through pure skill rather than raw athleticism. And for someone like Caitlin, who already excels as both a scorer and passer, this is ideal development territory. But this is where everything starts to fall apart. Stephanie White openly despises the way Luka Doncic approaches a game, and there's clear proof of it on record. During a Mavericks broadcast, when Luka was sidelined with an injury, White couldn't resist taking subtle shots at his playing style. She highlighted how differently Dallas moved the ball without him on the floor, pointed his high usage rate, and emphasized how much he dominates possessions. She then praised how the ball zips around, how everyone stays involved, and how the offense looks more fluid when Luka isn't controlling everything, essentially suggesting that the Mavericks play prettier basketball when their best player isn't dictating the flow.
He knew that Stephanie Bonehead White is not the coach for Caitlin Clark. Can Stephanie White coach the game of basketball? Yes, but is she the right coach for Caitlin Clark? Probably absolutely not. I don't think she is at all. I don't want her anywhere near Caitlin Clark. Okay? Once you decided, you put that girl at small forward.
What Stephanie White is really attacking here is obvious. She fundamentally dislikes ball-dominant players who control possessions and create offense through individual brilliance. Her preference is constant ball movement and shared responsibility, which is a direct critique of everything Caitlin Clark just said she admires about Luka Doncic approach. The disconnect couldn't be more glaring. What makes it even more ridiculous is that Caitlin herself runs a high use of defense. Her entire identity is built around having the ball in her hands and creating opportunities for everyone else. That's what made her special at Iowa, and what turned her rookie season into must-watch basketball. Yet now her coach is on record signaling a lack of respect for that very approach. When the coach and the franchise player have completely opposite philosophies about effective basketball, it's hard to imagine how that partnership survives. Caitlin wants more control over possessions, better tempo control, and more creativity in isolation, essentially becoming more Luka-like as she evolves. Stephanie White clearly wants the opposite: lower usage, consummation, and shared offensive responsibility. These aren't minor strategic disagreements. They're a fundamental clash over how basketball should be played.